Uptown Kids, it's me, Olivia. So I wanted to just go ahead and give you a little bit of a lesson today about one of the stories that I really like in the Bible, all right? So if you're watching in the morning, good morning. If you're watching in the afternoon, good afternoon. If you're watching at night, good evening, all right? So we've had several people share what their favorite Bible stories are. I don't think that I have a favorite Bible story, but I have several that I really like. Well, maybe, I guess if I had to say one, it'd be the story of Moses, because I've said it before, you hear from the very beginning when he was born till the very end when he died. So I do really like that one. So anyways, if you would like to submit a video for us to post, go ahead and let me know. Have your parents or your family members reach out to me, and I will post that, all right? Okay, so we're piecing together these videos, and we have to sometimes stop because things happen. My dog just walked through the doggy door, and so we had to stop the video and then restart it. So this is actually the story about when Jesus and Peter walked on water. I don't know if you've heard this story before or not, so if you haven't, then good, I'm glad to tell you a new story. But if you have, that's okay. Maybe the way I think about the story is different than the way you think about it. So after I tell the story today, if you watch the video, you and your family can go read about it. It is Matthew 14, okay? Matthew 14. You guys could talk about it together as a family. So if you know the story, Jesus feeds all those people, right? Like Jesus is out speaking one day, he's talking to people, and just like all these people show up. And it's getting towards the end of the day, and they don't have any food, but one little boy had a lunch. And as they began to feed people, just the food doubled and multiplied, and they were able to feed everybody. So anyways, it was a long day. And so the disciples said they were going to get in their boat. They were going to get in the boat on the lake, right? And Jesus said, you know what, you guys go ahead. He was probably tired. He wanted some alone time, you know, which we all do at some point. And he decided to go up on this mountain and pray and have time by himself. Well, the disciples went off on the boat, and they were on the lake. And in the morning, they saw something coming towards them, and they thought it was a ghost because it was walking on water. And that's actually what the disciples said. They said that they thought that it was a ghost. And so this is right at Matthew 14 and 26. They actually said it's a ghost, and they were like, you know, fearful, it said. But Jesus said to them, don't be afraid, it's me. Like, hey, I'm your friend, I'm Jesus, it's me. Don't worry about it. But I can imagine that the disciples were a little afraid because they'd never seen that happen before. So Jesus tells them, he says, exactly, take courage, it is I, don't be afraid. And so then Peter said, if it's you, then you tell me to come out to the water with you. So Jesus did, he said, come, that's all he said. And so Peter got out of the boat, and he began to walk towards Jesus. And so he took a few steps. But then I think that it says in the Bible that he heard the wind, and he looked away, and he got afraid. And then he began to sink, and he said, Lord, save me. And so that's what I want to talk about. And, you know, God, and Jesus did. Jesus reached down. There was no questioning. He picked him up. He saved him. They got in the boat. Everything was fine. So I wanted to like touch base with you guys about this and see like, what do you guys think about that? One thing that I think is pretty cool is that it didn't even matter what was going on. Like Jesus is going to the disciples, and he was going to be with them. And so I want you to remember that. Like sometimes there's crazy stuff going on, but Jesus is going to be with you, right? And another thing is that Peter had faith. Like when it came to it, Peter was like, yes, I want to walk on water with you. And he took that step out of the boat. But then what happened? He got a little scared, and he started to sink. Now, when he started to sink, do you think Jesus told him, hey, like you don't deserve to be with me because you doubted me? Jesus didn't say that. He immediately helped Peter. And so I want you guys to think about that too. Like if we have something going on in our lives, it really doesn't matter what it is. It's not too big and it's not too small. And if we maybe doubt Jesus for a little bit, that's okay. He's going to lift us up and help us out. So those are a couple things that I would love for you to talk to your family about. Like, what do you think about this story? You know, what do you think about Jesus walking on water, the first man to really ever do it successfully? Now, Peter did take a couple steps, but he took his eye off of Jesus and he sunk. So he wasn't really successful at it. So the only man or woman to ever do that. I think it's pretty cool. And how many of you have probably ever been in the pool and you tried to do it? Have any of you ever tried to run on the water real quick and see if you get far? And we know we can't. I've tried that. I'm sure some of you have too. And when you get to the ocean, you're trying to run on the water. Anyways, so talk to your family about that. Once again, that is in Matthew 14, and it actually starts off in, old lady eyes, 22, okay? Matthew 14:22. So read that with your family. And like I said, discuss it. What do you think about it? You may get something totally different from it. All right, so that is our story of the day. Well, actually the week, because we do it weekly, right? So I'm still missing you guys, hoping that we can get together soon. I would love to hear some of your guys' favorite Bible stories, so let me know what they are. Once again, this is the one where Jesus walks on water and Peter kind of attends to it. So Matthew 14. I hope you guys are doing great. I miss your faces, and we will see you soon.